You're looking to pick up freelance jobs and you start Googling and you come across Upwork. Seems too good to be true, right? You sign up and you realize that there's a fee, but you're not so sure that it's worth it. Well, don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about my pros and cons for Upwork. Upwork has been around for quite some time. I've been on it for quite a few years, at least since 2016, 2017. And to be honest, I still have a profile there that at this point I just need to take down. So in the beginning, when I was on Upwork, it was a really, really great platform. It was really great to be able to go onto this website and bid on jobs, and potential clients would post the jobs themselves, and all I had to do was go on there and send my cover letter, do a proposal, and pitch the client, and they would directly contact me back. And I was able to get a couple of clients through that, and that worked out really nicely. And there are some people that, reached out to me that it didn't work out, but it was a really great experience just to be able to go through that sales process and through that proposal process. That just helped me later on and helps me now to this day. So back then it was really great. Now I don't love it so much, but let's start with the good. So the good, clients come to you. Everyone knows that the hardest part of the freelance game is finding work and finding clients, to be honest, especially if you're someone that wants to work directly with clients and not through an agency or anything like that. And sometimes when you're looking and you're searching on Indeed or LinkedIn or wherever you may be job searching, it can be hard to figure out whether or not they're looking for someone full-time, part-time, W-2, or just a contractor, just to come in on a project-by-project basis. That's probably the hardest when you're job searching. And so here on Upwork, it's all project-based. They may be looking for someone on a long-term deal, but it's very clear that it's a contractor company relationship. So that I really like about it. The other thing about clients coming to you that I love is I don't feel so salesy all the time, and I'm not one to go out and be a salesperson or like a used car salesman and go out there and direct message people on LinkedIn and offer them my services. That's not my MO. That doesn't mean that I don't sell, and that doesn't mean that I'm not out there looking and offering my services. I just kind of go about it a different way. So Upwork was pretty safe for me. I felt like they're posting the job. They are clear about my intentions when we speak and, when I submit my proposal. So I never got that salesy vibe, which personally, I really love. That salesy vibe kind of skews me a little bit. It also seems there's a never-ending stream of instructional design and e-learning development jobs. Someone is always posting almost daily looking for an ID or an e-learning developer. So that was really nice because I never felt like there was a lull. Sometimes when you go on places like the Articulate Heroes community and you go to their job board, there could be weeks, especially right now during COVID, there was like quite a few weeks that there was nothing posted and not a ton was posted. But on Upwork, someone's always looking for a new contractor or a new freelancer to come in and help them with the project. And that was really refreshing, and that was really nice, and kind of restored my faith that there is still companies looking for freelancers. Now that I went through some of the good, here is the not so great. The rooms for improvement, we'll say. We'll keep it a positive spin. You have to pay to bid on jobs. And that to me is the most annoying part of the new system of Upwork is I have to pay and I didn't even get a job out of it. Mind you, if I did get the job, Upwork still gets a fee. So they make out coming and they make out going. So that to me is probably one of the most annoying parts. When Upwork first started, you were given X amount of credits at the beginning of the month, and those were your credits to bid on jobs. And it was free. You didn't have to worry about it. And now that's changed. In order to continue credits, or to continue to receive credits, you have to pay for them. And that I don't love, especially the way that Upwork has their algorithm nowadays. It just doesn't seem very fair. It just seems like they're making out on people who are on there looking for work or for looking for jobs. And that's not really cool with me. So Upwork takes about 20% of your earnings up to a certain threshold. I forget what the number is at which they will start taking 10% of your earnings, and then even higher than that, 5%. But the threshold is super high. So if you're just with a client on a like one project, one off, a 6-week engagement or something like that, it's very rare that you're going to hit that threshold and they'll start taking less out of your compensation. So I don't love that. And that's 20% is a lot. And so what do a lot of people want to do is charge 20% higher. So they're still making their rate, and then your rate goes up and clients don't want to hire you because you're too expensive for them. So not my biggest fan of Upwork for that reason. And also I find that when you're a new instructional designer, you don't have a steady income or a steady pool to pull from all the time where you can kind of offset that 20% and feel okay because you're getting a stream of other clients. I'm not an expert on the algorithm of Upwork, but a lot of people have been stating if you're not a top freelancer with them, and sometimes I wonder if you're not a top freelancer and paying that like premium subscription service, you're not going to be rated high on the list of freelancers that submitted proposals. So when a client puts a proposal out there or put a job posting out there, you submit a proposal including, either your cost for the entire project or your hourly rate. You can submit your portfolio, your cover letter, and all the information that goes into the portfolio and whatever they're requesting. And then they get a list of everyone that bid on that proposal. And it's just one list where you see their name, their photo, kind of what rank they are, and their rate. And I'm not gonna lie, most people are looking at it and saying, well, who's the cheapest? And I'm gonna start there. And some of them only look at the first page because they assume, rightfully so, those are the top rated freelancers according to Upwork. So that's where I'm going to get more bang for my buck. So you're competing on either end. And if you're kind of in the middle where maybe you just haven't had a lot of luck on Upwork, but you are a really good instructional designer, or you're new to it and you just want to try it out, you kind of get thrown in the middle and it's really hard to get noticed. So for that reason, I also don't love it. So I also found the competition is much higher. And competition is everywhere and it's high no matter what you use, but it's different on Upwork. And because a company is looking just strictly a lot of times based on the price, I live in New Jersey. I have 11 years of experience. My rate is going to be higher. And it's by far not the highest, but it's definitely not the lowest. And a lot of times I get outbid on jobs strictly because I'm considered higher on the list for that client, and they are just uncomfortable spending that $100 an hour, $150 an hour, let's say. So they go with someone a little bit less expensive, and that's really great. But again, I have more years of experience, a lot of experience working with different companies and different industries under my belt to help justify a higher hourly rate. And also I live in New Jersey. It's a higher cost of living here, typically in the tri-state area, San Francisco, DC, those types of areas. It is a higher cost of living, so your rates are higher, and a lot of companies don't love to see that, and they don't find it justified to pay that much. So you get knocked out almost immediately just based on your rate alone. And finally, to go along with that, I found that a lot of clients on there, they put out these proposals and they don't go anywhere, or they want a lot for a little. Sometimes they're putting proposals out there just to gauge interest or what it possibly could cost, or some of them want a level 3 e-learning, total gamification, a whole new virtual reality world that their learner can immerse themselves with, but our budget's $500. Ma'am, thank you, but that's impossible. So no, definitely not. And I feel like being on, something about Upwork, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but clients feel like they can get away with that because I think that they get bids and they get people to say, yes, I will give you the sun, the moon, and the stars for $200 from that $500. And they assume that that's, what it costs when that's not actually the truth. And a lot of times, and I say this to new instructional designers and new e-learning developers who are concerned about rate and budget, if your rate is $100 an hour and you want to go with someone, and client wants to go with someone that's $35 an hour, that's great. But that $100 an hour came with a lot of years of experience, a lot of years working in different industries on different projects, a lot of best practices, a lot of lessons learned that $35 an hour might not come with. And when you get down to it, there's an efficiency that you pick up at this stage in the game that when you're new or you're just starting in the field, you just don't have just yet. So while it could have taken, so while someone is $35 an hour, if it takes them 10 hours to do something, but it takes me 1 hour to do that same project or that same task, who's cheaper then? But clients don't see it that way. They just see the number and the bottom line of $35 an hour or $20 an hour, $3 an hour, whatever the rate is. So thumbs up this video if you want to talk more about whether or not you should be lowering your prices due to the pandemic or times of, global crises and things like that. Because I think that would be a very interesting topic to talk about, but I'd love to know your feedback on it. So the moment of truth, my final recommendations on Upwork, and I think you know where I'm going to go with this. I don't think that Upwork is truly worth it. I think that there are other ways to get access and to bring in clients. I think that Upwork is really great as a filler if you want to just jump on and just, keep things, not too expensive and bid on a couple of jobs. But I don't think it's really necessary. I think there's about 20 other ways that you can go out and find clients. So I don't think that you need to worry about whether or not you're missing out on Upwork. Will you hear stories? And I'm sure people are going to comment on this video and say that they've had such great success on Upwork. And yes, there are absolutely a lot of people that have great success on Upwork. They found really great clients to work with and whatnot. But for the average Joe or Jane, it's not the greatest places to find jobs as an instructional designer or e-learning developer. So I really think that if you can take the time and connect with clients, post your services, post about yourself on LinkedIn and that you're looking for contract opportunities, you're looking for to work directly with clients, I feel like you'll get better leads. I shouldn't want to say more leads, but you get better leads, more qualified leads, and it really opens yourself to have the capabilities to really make a more personalized proposal, more personalized sales pitch to this client where they could see more of your efforts and your capabilities rather than just, your portfolio, your hourly rate or your project rate, and a cover letter. So my suggestion is to spend your time on other things rather than Upwork. But if Upwork works for you, I'm so happy for you. Are you ready to take the next step into instructional design? Would you like my free 6-step process? Click the link in the description box to download the freelance learning and development blueprint. Then make sure to click the video here to take the next step to get into the L&D game. Friends, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to leave your comments down below about Upwork and where you're finding your jobs so that we can all share and learn together. And I will see you in the next video.